And we were rolling. All right. So this is the first Yo Catsy interview. I have my really good friend on here, Evan O'Brien. We're gonna ask a few questions because I'm really inspired by Evan's story and what he does, and I wanted to see what he had to say.
Let's do it.
All right. So let's start with a few questions here. Um, let's just keep it simple at first, and yeah, man, how's life treating you?
Life's pretty good, man. It's pretty much for me. It's all dependent on like what I'm focusing on. But like, if I wake up in the morning and kind of think like, I mean, how good do we have it, dude? Like we live in this cool city and like we could do whatever we want on days that we're not working. Like I mean, yeah, dude, life's really good. Like it's really good.
What do you focus on usually, like day to
In
day?
general,
Yeah, like a day to. What's your general like day to day like?
um, for me, I think right now, like, I kind of feel like I'm sort of behind the eight ball a little bit in life just because I'm 29 years old and still trying to get my thing that, like, I'm just going to keep doing, like, for a long time, career-wise. So for me, that's, like, my big focus on a day-to-day is kind of either what companies am I trying to start or, like, what, I'm in school, so what kind of school am I trying to do? But it's, like, always the goal is kind of, like, what is life going to look like in a couple years? So, like, let's do some work towards that today, you know?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Explain what is your career right now?
My career right now is I work in a drug and alcohol treatment center for addicts and alcoholics. And so I'm a resident assistant. Like there's like some long version of what I do, but it's something resident assistant lead of operations or something. And so I handle a lot of the day-to-day stuff there, but also spend a lot of time with people who are still really going through it. And yeah.
And how long have you been doing this for?
Well, okay, so me myself, I've been sober for 4.5 years.
Congrats, man.
Yeah, but before that, I was sober for 3 years prior to that as well. So I think in my second year sober, the first time around, I started doing that, and then once I had to go out and experiment a little bit more, I wasn't working in the field then, and then once I was like 2 years sober again is when I came back in. So like a total of maybe 5 years or 4 years, I don't know.
Sweet, yeah. That's awesome, man.
It's pretty cool.
So you found this like in your second like term of like the first time you were sober, you didn't really have this like motive to help other people, but it came like the second time, or you always wanted to do this?
No, I mean, dude, I'll be honest, man, I don't think I really even have that. Like, that's why I really like to handle the day-to-day operations there.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I do, like, if somebody's really going through it, I enjoy having a conversation with them, but the fact of the matter is, with treatment in general, is a lot of people don't want to be there. Like, it's either ultimatums from their parents, or it's they just ran out of money. Like, it's never like, wow, I don't like the way my life is going, I need to make a change.
Yeah.
Like, luckily I had that,
Yeah.
like, I actually had that moment to where I was like, wow, my life is not looking anything like I want it to go. So I'm going to do something about it,
Totally.
Yeah,
'Cause
so...
my experience hanging out with you, man, I feel like you're very helpful, and seems like you might not think you help other people, but from what I experience hanging out with you, you're always helping people out and trying to better people, and you're always, there for people who need you.
Well, I think I do. I think I have a lot of love for you too. So like, obviously it comes across that way for you. Like, I want to see you do well. Like, I want to see everything you want in life like come to you. So like, yeah, dude. Like when we do link up, it's always like good cool,
vibes.
How can I help? Yeah, how can I what what are you going through? How can I help? Because I think when you live the life I did and have to go through a change like I did, I think you learn a lot of life lessons in a short period of time. So sometimes I can see people like who maybe didn't have to go through the same struggles start sort of entering periods where things I'd learned could have helped them. And so I'm always willing to share that info. Like, not everybody should have to struggle the same way. We could always just kind of help each other get through those kind of things, or give advice that could benefit them. And
Totally.
that's kind of my thoughts on it.
And for people who are watching this or whatever who don't really know, me and Evan are pretty much from the same place.
Yeah.
From Pennsylvania, and we kind of grew up the same way and kind of went through the same thing, but maybe a little less and more from one of each other. But yeah, pretty much, and we're like not in the same spot now, but pretty much, trying to take it to the next level. And we got good heads on our shoulders. And what's some advice you would give someone who's coming from the same place, or not the same place, but kind of the same place that we're from, and who want to get to somewhere like this that we're at?
I love this.
Yeah.
I love this question. So, first of all, and I'm going to talk directly to the camera, okay?
Yeah, no, please.
First of all, like, whatever everybody told you back there, dude, nobody has a clue of what's really going on in the world. Like, nobody has a clue, which is why it's so frustrating to me to even go on Facebook or something like that. Like, I remember when I was a kid, dude, you can do anything you want. You can literally do anything you want. You just have to try at it, right? But like if when I was back in the coal region, if I said I wanted to, man, I don't know, like start a YouTube channel based around addiction, or start like my podcast, right? Like,
yeah.
I want to start a podcast, right?
And what's your podcast name, just so we get it?
So my podcast is called Common PERIL. It's about addiction.
Where could you find that at if somebody's watching it?
You can find that anywhere, really. It's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, anywhere that you listen to podcasts, Google Podcasts, stuff like that, But yeah, so like if you said something like that, in my experience, it was always like that. It felt like it wasn't even real. Like it wasn't even a real career, or like a real path that you could go in life. But like, if you're in northeastern PA and your dream is to be a director, like you can do that. You just have to not listen to everybody back there who says it's dumb, right?
Yeah,
because
totally.
Those people are going to end up at Geldwen in a factory job for the rest of their life, like, supporting their family, which I think is awesome, dude. Like, if that's what you want to do it. Like, I'm not hating on that, but I'm just saying, don't let people who have
for the dreamers
simple ideas of what life should be keep you from dreaming and like taking some steps towards it. Like, that's my biggest word of advice
and we could only experience something where we come from, but at the same time it's like pretty much everywhere, like all the small towns, different countries, like people are still going to naysay you and tell you can't do it. And it's just, it sucks, but it actually, you could use it to your advantage to make it a leverage to.
Yeah, you can. You can. Because it really starts to feel like anything's possible.
Yeah,
like once you start to see
that.
it, And and I think just keep an open mind. Like, don't let what other people say kind of keep you from developing your own set of ideas and values. You don't have to believe the same things that your parents believed or your uncle believes, or no matter how many generations they believed it.
Yeah.
You can develop your own sort of view on what life should be.
That's awesome, man. Cool. We're running it down a little bit. We have almost 1 more minute, so I'm gonna ask you one more question here.
Sure.
Where do you see yourself? And let's not give it 5 years. Just let's live it, be realistic. Where do you see yourself in 2 years from now, at this moment in time?
In 2 years from now, ideally, I'm finishing my last semester of my engineering degree, and then after that, just trying to get just trying to get a job for long enough to pay off that degree, and then move to some island somewhere. That's what I want to do.
That's sick, dude.
That's it.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's
just
a
move
good
to
one.
some island and just surf and get a dog and just
live a simple life.
Simple and just like beautiful.
That's awesome, man. Well, that's gonna be it for today because we're running out of time. But I just want to say thank you for coming on the interview today, being a part of this, dude.
Dude, I'm happy to be here. This
appreciate it.
Nice experience for me.
Hell yeah, man. Thank you.
Cool.
That's gonna be it. All right, check him out. He's at his Instagrams. Tell him the Instagram.
At Real O'Brien, and dude, I've got 100, but check out at Common PERIL Podcast if you're going through any, addiction, or your family members or your sisters or whatever. Like, we got something in there for everybody. It's all based on that. So
what is it again?
At Common Peril Podcast on Instagram, and then you can find everything from there. So
Perfect.
cool.